Welcome back, guys. Training update. And as many of you have noticed, I do quite a bit of squatting, deadlifting, and bench pressing. And that's simply because, along with this whole contest prep thing, I'm still competing in powerlifting. And I actually have the biggest powerlifting meet of my life. I think it's four days after the Muscle Mayhem IFPA Pro USA, WNBF Pro USA now. So 4 days after that show, I'm flying to Colorado, and it's going to be my first national level meet. We're not quite at that level. Don't know if we ever will be, but it's my first national level meet. I'm really amped about that, and I'm taking it serious. How does my split look like? Very simple. So I have a full body split, and by full body, I mean it's catered to the big three on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday, where I pretty much squat and bench and deadlift on 2 of those days. So a lot of frequency when it comes to the big lifts, which again, strength is a skill. It's something that you need to practice, specifically when you want to be strong at very specific movements. And then when it comes to the other stuff, the accessory movements, well, pretty much every one of these big 3 days is followed with some accessory work. Usually 2 to 3 body parts and about 80 to 120 reps per body part, depending on how much it requires it. I do have a few days a week where I'm specifically working on things that are issues with my physique. When it comes to my physique, and again, the biggest issues, things that the squatting, the deadlifting won't take care of by themselves. On Tuesday, so remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body pretty much, big 3 day. On Tuesday, I have a day that's pretty much just dedicated to nothing but rowing. And then on Saturday, I have a bro day where I'm doing things like this, shoulder raises and arm work. Because again, when I'm dieting, it's the first thing to go on me. Other body parts such as legs, they kind of tend to stick around, but upper body, specifically arms, they will go away overnight. So that Saturday bro day has really helped out a ton, I think, when it comes to keeping a lot of my upper body fullness. Especially, right now I'm at about 162 pounds on my lightest days, and right around this point is where I can really start to see things wither away. But it hasn't really been happening. This is the best 162 pounds I've ever seen on me personally, and I think we have maybe about 1.5 pounds to go, and we will be all done. So yeah, a lot of outside of the big three, a lot of rowing, because I require that, because the whole back area is just it's lacking, and it will slip away from me if I let it happen. And specifically once we get to this point of the diet where we are pushing to the point where, even in my case, where I do believe I have a really low fat body fat set point. I joke around with people and telling them that if you would have taken the 130-pound Alberto when he ran track and field and told him to squeeze his butt, he probably would have had some faint lines back there. But nevertheless, I'm carrying a bit more lean body mass than I was back when I was a skinny runner running from point A to point A. And having these body fat levels with this much muscle mass, which is a lot for me. It's not a lot for most, but it's a lot for me. It's definitely something my body would rather not deal with. So yeah, we're starting to feel the effects of the diet, and it's definitely affecting me. I think more so when it comes to performance. So everything outside the gym is pretty good. Mood, hormones, all that stuff is if anything, it's better, and I feel healthier at this body weight, which is kind of shocking to some. But what really, I think, and it's frustrating and it stresses me, and it only makes it worse sometimes, is the fact that workouts can be spotty. I'm so used to, I'd say out of every 7-8 workouts, I'll have one workout that's just a bit off, but they probably happen twice as frequently at this point. And you have to remember that just how you will have these days where you don't look like you lift. And this day in particular, actually, the day in the white wife beater, actually, I looked pretty good, but on this day, I was starting to look like a track and field runner again. Um, just how you have those fluctuations in appearance, the same happens with performance. And again, the best thing you can do is not panic and understand that this is just today. And I'm getting better at dealing with that. However, I think if there's one thing that I have to get better at when it comes to how I handle the stresses of a contest prep, it's probably the whole performance aspect and dealing with losing a rep here, losing a rep there, having maybe 2 consecutive days where things didn't go as planned. That kind of stuff is probably, it wears on me way more than anything else, because even though I'm deep into my contest prep, my favorite part of my own day has nothing to do with my pre-workout, my food, my new, I don't know, weird ultra low carb pancake mix that came in. None of that. My workout is still my favorite part of my day. I mean, I go in there with controlled intensity, with focus, killer instinct, all that stuff, and I look forward to it. So when that doesn't go according to plan, even if my physique has made strides the last few days and I'm seeing changes here and there, that is probably what stresses me the most. But in regards to everything else, outside of the bad days happening a bit more frequently, body comp is, I think, for the most part, right where it should be. And again, I am maintaining fullness in a lot of, at least for me anyways, maintaining fullness in a lot of those areas that kind of tend to get away from me the deeper I get into the diet. I have about, again, 1.5 pounds to go, and it's really crazy because this next 1.5 pounds or so, it's going to be a huge chunk of my total body fat. So I think I'm always quite shocked in terms of what it does to my physique. It's 1.5 pounds or so, but it really changes the way everything looks. And specifically when it comes to my upper body, a lot of that hardening really comes in. I mean, right now, yeah, it's a lean upper body, but it doesn't have that hard permaflex kind of look. But the next 1.5 pounds will certainly do that. And then another cool part about getting into those really the really cool parts of contest prep shape is the fact that even your weaker body parts start to look remotely and kind of impressive. At least when you're by yourself and you're not standing next to another top-notch natural pro on stage. But yeah, I'm really amped about the changes we should be seeing these next few weeks. I'm going to go ahead and at the end of this video post an update video on how my current physique is looking. And again, we only use the harshest lightings. I can get under some pretty decent light, and it would look like my glutes are straight at top to bottom. But I think this light is way more honest. And it's not just about it being honest and it making you look worse than you are. That's not the goal necessarily. It's being able to pick up on subtleties and subtle changes in your physique. That to me is the biggest part at this point, because again, we're not looking for a huge amount of weight loss. We're looking for usually what's going to happen is changes in the physique happen before the weight loss, and then eventually you kind of do see it on the scale. But again, we're roughly trying to track a 1.5 pounds of weight loss on 162-pound body, and that can be kind of hard to pinpoint. So I'm really relying on visual feedback. So this is what we're looking like. Again, stringy, flat, depleted, harshest lighting I can find, or most honest lighting I can find, but things are coming together. So last part for me, the last areas I need to harden up is right around my delts in the upper body, for sure the gut, the love handles, lower back. A lot of the stuff is going to come off of there. Quads are pretty much set in place, I think. Hamstrings and glutes, and I think that's the next to go. So this is what I look like. Next few pounds, I'm telling you, are going to be quite cool to follow. And again, look forward to sharing that with you guys. Posing's a bit off, but I'm trying to rush through this because I had a leg workout to do. So that's it, guys. Having fun, enjoying the process. Next few weeks should be fun.